As police helicopters swarm the skies, people on the ground are left worrying and wondering what's going on.
There's an alert, there's an emergency alert on everybody's cell phone that Travis was somewhere in this area.
Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Wednesday morning, the 11th of June. And the search for wanted killer dad Travis Decker is hotting up. Potentially, there has been a sighting. People have had eyes on him. Listen to the rest of this news report. This is from last night.
Around 9:15 last night, Chelan County sent out cell phone alerts advising people living here to secure their doors and windows. Travis Decker, charged with murdering his 3 young daughters last month, on the run and possibly close by. There has been no further word from authorities, but we have obtained the first photos from deep inside the rugged mountain search zone. Snohomish County's special operations are assisting. Here you see them armed, hiking up snowy terrain and deploying a deputy from a helicopter. This couple, on vacation from Squim, finding themselves in the middle of a manhunt.
I don't want to stay outside too long. I don't know where this guy's moving around.
The search area is about 15 miles as the crow flies from the campground where Decker is believed to have suffocated his children. The circles on this FlightAware map show the search centered in the areas around Valley High, Ingalls Creek, and Allen Lane. By foot, Decker would have to traverse several mountains, but he is a former Army Ranger with extensive tactical training. Travis Decker hasn't been seen since at least May 30th, 12 days. The question tonight, are his days truly numbered?
Kind of unsettling, and plus you didn't want to be out here if it was dark. You didn't want to be walking around. You don't know what's going to happen.
I do find it interesting that they were able to send an alert out to people's phones for Travis Decker. Now he's missing and he's a wanted man, quite rightly. But they weren't prepared to send out an Amber Alert when the girls were missing. So for those not following the story, and I'm surprised more people aren't following this story, but Travis Decker, 32-year-old father of 3, and I do use that term loosely, took his 3 daughters, 9-year-old Peyton, 8-year-old Evelyn, and Olivia, who was only 5 years old, for a 3-hour scheduled visitation. Friday, May 30th. Picked them up about 5, was meant to drop them off about 8, didn't drop them off. The mother Whitney called the cops. They wouldn't issue an Amber Alert, even though Decker was known to have mental health problems and he wasn't allowed to have the girls overnight, ordered by a judge. They didn't think it fulfilled the criteria because they didn't think the girls were in danger. But they did send out, search parties and things for them. They did send out an endangered alert. But Monday afternoon, they found Travis's truck at the Rock Island campground in Leavenworth, and nearby were the bodies of Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, zip-tied with plastic bags over their heads. Absolutely horrific. And since that time, the hunt has been on for Travis Decker. Statistically speaking, the guy should be dead because the majority of people who annihilate their families are on a path to self-annihilation. And around 80% of people who annihilate their children do go on to take their own life, but seemingly not in this case. In the video yesterday, I speculated as to whether they were tracking Decker's phone, if he was turning it on just for a minute and then turn it back off again to preserve battery. But it seems not to be the case. Some people have told me that his phone was found in his truck. I have no reason not to believe that. And last night, we get this message from Chelan County Sheriff's Office. So I'm going to read the message in full here off their Facebook page. Okay, update 10:16:30 hours, which is 4:30 p.m. Tracking teams believe they are on Decker's trail. Community support and tips are still needed. Law enforcement have tracked a subject believed to be Decker into the Blewett Pass Highway 97 area. We are asking for the public, especially those who live or have cabins in the area, to remain highly vigilant and report any suspicious activity. So here is the map. This is the Rock Island campground. The girls were found about here. And then yesterday, I reported on an update from Chelan County Sheriff's Office and they were asking people in the Ingalls Creek area to be vigilant. But now we've got Blewitts Pass down here, and this is Highway 97. So he's seemingly in a southerly direction. So not heading for Canada. One of the speculations from the cops was, because of his Google searches, wanting jobs in Canada, looking for how to move to Canada, that kind of thing, that he would go west and take the Pacific Crest Trail and then go north into Canada. But no, he's going the opposite direction. So did he plant those Google searches, or did he intend that he would go to Canada but then decided against it? Okay, so this post continues. First off, we here at CCSO want to thank the countless hours spent on this search by men and women of law enforcement from a vast number of agencies across our region, state and nation. The amount of work that has been accomplished thus far could not have happened without them, and we are forever grateful. Our office recently received a tip from a hiking party who stated they spotted a lone hiker in the enchantments area and who appeared to be ill-prepared for trail and weather conditions. Interesting. We've been speculating on whether he's got stuff hidden, whether if this was all planned, that he had stuff hidden. But surely if he wanted to leave, if he wanted to go to Canada or wherever else, why wouldn't he just up and go? Why murder his daughters? You know, it's hatred. And what has 3 little girls ever done to him? Now, that hatred and rage perhaps was directed at the mother. He thought, if I can't have them, I can't have her, I can't have my family, she's not having them, she's not having a family. Maybe. I mean, that's got to be on the cards, hasn't it? Because there's no explanation. It doesn't matter how mentally ill you are. So appeared to be avoiding others as well. Tracking teams immediately acted upon the information and spotted a lone off-trail hiker from a helicopter near Kulchuk Lake, who ran from sight as the helicopter passed. I have shades of Brian Laundrie. Do you remember when they thought they were tracking Brian Laundrie in Florida? Do you remember this in 2021? And it turns out they spent like weeks tracking some other dude who was like homeless and living out there, and he was in completely the opposite side of the park. But it is suspicious that somebody's running when they see the helicopter. Additional assets were called to the area while they developed a plan to track the individual. Teams later picked up a trail and deployed canines in the area, tracking the subject to the area of Ingalls Creek Trailhead on Highway 97. Hikers, if you have been in the enchantments area within the last week and have seen anything suspicious, please contact the tip line with any information you may have. Additionally, if you were a solo hiker in the area recently, please contact the tip line immediately with your information so investigators can follow up with you. Yeah, to check it's not just some random person who doesn't like the sound of helicopters or something. As the search continues in the area, we are asking that anyone who may have a cabin or reside in the area report any suspicious activity, lock your doors and vehicles, and look out for your neighbour's property. If you have any cameras, including trail cameras in the area, please check them or submit a tip to the US Marshals tip line with a location of the camera for law enforcement to check. While federal agencies lead the continued search, CCSO detectives remain strongly engaged on the murder investigation, processing evidence and tracking down more potential evidence to build a strong case for prosecution. We want to sincerely thank the hard work of our detective division led by Sergeant Lewis and East Cascade SWAT team led by Sergeant Frank, Sergeant Foreman and Deputy Urkel, who have put in several hundred combined hours of work since locating Evelyn Payton and Olivia, deceased on June 2nd. For our citizens and communities, we are grateful for the outpouring of support you have given to all of our members. A special thank you to the Wenatchee Blue Family, Soup Ladies and other local entities that have provided all the law enforcement personnel with meals, snacks, drinks, coffee, bug spray, sunscreen and other countless essential items that keep us moving. We also want to thank Governor Ferguson for authorising the National Guard to assist with the search. For clarification, they are providing air assets to fly in support of the search and logistical support. to search teams. CCSO remains steadfast in our commitment to conduct a thorough investigation and capture of Mr. Decker. United States Border Patrol have taken over operations and command for the search of Mr. Decker. Under their direction, they are continuing to follow up on tips from the community while working closely with other federal entities, while we, alongside our regional partners, remain available to assist where it's needed. We ask that the public report tips regarding Mr. Decker's whereabouts to the U.S. Marshals Service via their tip line and website, which is below. The United States Marshals Service is offering a reward of up to $20,000 for information leading directly to Travis Decker's arrest. The suspect should be considered armed and dangerous. If you see Travis Decker, please call 911 immediately. Do not attempt to contact or approach him. Anyone with information is urged to contact the nearest U.S. Marshal's office, the U.S. Marshals Service Communications Center at 1-800-336-0102 or USMS Tips at www.usmarshals.gov/tips. Sheriff Morrison, along with a representative from the U.S. Marshals Service, will be conducting a press conference at the Chelan County Courthouse stairs at 611 at 4 p.m. So this is today at 4 p.m. Washington time. That's going to be midnight my time. I may be up to watch it live. I don't know. Sheriff Morrison. I don't know. What do you think Sheriff Morrison is easy on the eye? Was on NewsNation yesterday. Did a little interview. Let's play a little bit of this. He's absolutely gunning for this guy. He really is.
Is there evidence that he is still alive, or is this possibly a search for his remains?
We believe that he's still alive, and we won't think otherwise until we either find his body, which we'd rather have him be alive, and stand in front of our judges to take responsibility for his actions and get to explain what happened if he's not responsible for it.
So we know that he has military experience here. How does that impact the search, Sheriff? And what is your message to people who may come in contact with him?
So we recognize that he is a danger to our community. We put that message out there, and we want to make sure that people are aware that, he doesn't appear to be thinking clearly and is on the run, does not want to make efforts to contact us despite our invites. And so I would tell people to be cautious if they were to interact with him or see him. And in regards to his training, I recognize that he does have some unique training. He's familiar with the outdoors, but so are several members of our team and our search party that also are legitimate special forces individuals and deserve that title of being recognized as a proud servant to our country. I don't think Travis deserves that recognition. He's not acting with nobility or honor at this time. So despite his training, I'm not going to give him that kind of credit. The other men and women who serve our country deserve that recognition. And we're going to continue to treat him exactly as is, which is a criminal.
Absolutely, yeah. And for all of you good guys out there, thank you for your service. Sincerely, thank you for your service. But not Travis Decker. But if he's not responsible for this and someone else did it and he's running away because he's scared, well, just come forward and explain what really happened. Why don't you do that? Why don't you do that, Travis? All right, so the hunt continues. Let's hope they get him today. Let's hope that press conference has some good news and he's in custody. Because Sheriff Morrison is absolutely right. Taking himself out is a cowardly move. It's an expected move. It's a cowardly move. He needs to face justice, doesn't he? He needs to face the world and explain what he did and why. All right. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.